Deborah from House of Eclectic here. Today we are going to be using heat transfer vinyl and just some regular socks to make some Harry Potter socks. I've got a cute idea and I'm excited about it. So give me just a second. I'll get a couple shares in and then we will get started. Let me make sure my volume's down before I click on the video. So we are struggles. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so I'm excited today. Our project is super cute. I've never made it before, so we're going to be making it for the first time together, which I think will be super fun. And it's all just like most of what I do, very Harry Potter focused. Oh, my hair's a sight.
Mom,
yes?
turn off the light.
Yep. Which light? Oh no, leave that light on. As soon as I pull my photography lights out, my video lights out, my kids want to turn the light off in the room because they think it's bright enough. So, okay, just a couple more shares and we will get started.
But Mom, that could be so cool.
It will be so cool to turn the light off? Okay, go ahead. This is Haley. She is my 3-year-old. And she has all sorts of crazy fun, huh? Are you crazy fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be on this side for them to see you. She goes to the back and thinks that everyone can see her. Nope, they can't see you. You have to come over here. Okay. One more share. And we will get started.
Hello. Hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, you ready to get started?
Hi.
Should we make something fun today? Maybe. Struggles. Uh-oh, how did I lose that? Oh, there it is. Okay, one last share and we are ready to go. Okay, oh, she turned the light off on us. So we are going to be using, so this is my Cricut machine. This is the Cricut Maker. You don't need a Cricut Maker for this machine. Any machine that will cut vinyl will work. Melanie says she loves your sparkly skirt. You say thank you?
Thank you.
She can't quite say thank you right now. She always says thank you and it cracks me up. Okay. So any machine that can cut vinyl, or if you have a lot of patience, you can also do this with a scissors and X-Acto knife and vinyl. That would take quite a bit of patience though, just so you know. So I've just got this navy blue. It's really pretty.
I want to show you something.
What do you want to show them? Your Anna doll?
It's in here somewhere.
She wants to show you her Anna doll. Okay. So this is just a navy. I don't know how well you can see that color there. But you could pretty much do this with any color of heat transfer. I just think it will look nice with navy, so that's what we're going to use. And then I just have a pair of socks. Honestly, I think I may have gotten these at the dollar store. I'm going to make some more of these.
See?
My kids are really into yarn dolls right now. They love yarn dolls. Have you guys ever made yarn dolls? We used to make them all the time as kids.
See?
They're right here, honey. See? There they are. Okay. Pull your dolly down. We used to make them all the time as kids, and now my kids are really into them.
I want to show you something now.
So I think I might... Would any of you be interested in... Yep. See, there's your dolly. Oh, she got $1 for our Valentine's Day from one of her grandparents. So just plain socks. They can have color on the heel.
I want to show you something else. Is that Anna?
It's an Anna. Okay, it's my turn to talk now. Thank you. So they can have color on the heel and on the toe. That's no problem. But they do need a good amount of white in the middle like this. You want the bottom part of the sock to So, careful. I'm going to cut this down. So you're going to want to find a piece of cardboard. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit more. This will help give you a nice flat surface to work on, since the surface of the socks isn't really, I mean, it's, you know, meant to be a little bit more rounded. So you're going to go ahead and just put this piece of cardboard into your sock. I'm really excited about this.
Does my buddy help me find my dad's shirt?
Yes. She's seen, if you can see right here, I have design space open, which is what you use to design with Cricut, and you can see my past projects here at the top. She's just noticing one of them is a shirt that I made for her.
I lost it.
You lost your bye, buddy? Don't you? I hope you find your dad's shirt. You didn't really. I know where it is. Okay, so you want to put the cardboard in there. That will give you a nice flat space to work with.
Why are you using this sock?
Because we're going to make something silly on the sock. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So fun. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, so cardboard in your sock. This will also kind of help you give you so you know how much space you got. She says bye-bye. The kids have walked off with my measuring tape once again, so let me see if I got another one. There are very few things in the world that my kids think are as fun as sewing measuring tapes. So you've really got about 3 inches, 3 by 4, probably a little bit less, because so I don't know if you've seen those socks where they have like, they're on the bottom of the feet of the socks. So like if someone had their feet up, you could read what they say. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So we've got 3 inches by 4 inches, but I'm going to do a little bit less than that so it will really sit squarely in the center of the sock. And we're just going to go ahead and go into Design Space, hit Create a New Project. And then you're going to just want to add text. This is going to be a very simple project. I think we're going to be able to blow through it pretty fast. So let me know if you have any questions. So, on the first sock, we're going to want to put, if you can read this. So we're going to go ahead and put some line breaks in there, because we definitely have more space vertical than we have horizontal. And I'm going to go ahead and center it.
You never reached my bed, Mom.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and find a font that we like. Maybe, perhaps.
I'm making my doll, Dad.
Okay, get your dolly. See ya.
What done?
Her grandma's making a bed for her yarn doll. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. You just select it, and then fonts are in the top left corner. And then it will pull all the fonts on your computer as well as any of the Cricut fonts. So if it has an A, that's one of the access fonts that if you pay for access, you can use. I'm going to see if I have actually a Harry Potter font on here. I know I've used it before for things. Scroll, I think it's called, can't remember what it's called. I'm going to go down to the ages and see if it starts with like Harry something. Harry P. There it is. Okay, so there's the Harry Potter font. If it will change. And then, so the first sock is going to say, if you can read this, and the second one is going to say, save Dobby. Because you need it, because they saved Dobby with a sock. Delights me. Probably shouldn't, but it does. Okay, So now we have got both of our things on there. So now we just need to kind of shrink them up the way we need them. I'm going to go ahead and unlock it so I can stretch it a little bit. What did I tell you? 3 by, okay, yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so now my dimensions are 2.8 by by about 3.5. I'm going to go ahead and add them up here so that's exactly how much they are. Make it a little bit easier to duplicate over here. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate the width, but not necessarily the height because there's much less. 2.8 is what we are going to duplicate. Okay, so like I said, this is a super easy project. So I think we've got it so far designed. Now we just need to, I'm going to go ahead and save it as Dobby Socks. And then we're going to go ahead and be ready to make it. So go ahead and hit the make it button. It's going to go ahead and sort it. You need to make sure you mirror it because if you don't mirror it, it will be backwards when you put it on your socks. So then we're going to hit continue, turn on our machine. And cut this out. So grab out a mat. That plastic off. We're going to go ahead. So we're just using basic iron-on. So we're going to select that on our machine. And then we are going to take this and just put down our heat transfer. So heat transfer always goes shiny side down. I can never get heat transfer down right the first time. I'm not sure why that is. You got to make sure you get it all the way to the top of the grid because your machine is going to do its best to save you space, save your materials. Okay, so I've got my fine point blade in there. I'm going to go ahead and slide that in. I'm going to bring you guys closer so you can see the cutting. Okay, it's ready to go. We're going to let that cut. So it's just going to go ahead and cut all of those shapes out for us. Oops. So this is just a navy. I'm putting it on a white and a gray sock. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. As soon as this is done cutting out. So I used a Harry Potter font. I think I found it on DeFont. It was just a free font. So just to give it a little bit more of a Harry Potter look. So while you're cutting out, you want to get your iron heating up. I'm going to use a heat press just because I think it sticks so much better. But if an iron is what you have, then that will work great as well. So we're all like Harry Potter in our house right now. I just finished reading Chamber of Secrets to my kids. I don't know if you've read any of them to your kids, but we're on number 3. And I can't decide if we're going to keep going after we run out of illustrated versions or if we are going to stop and wait for the 4th one to come out illustrated, or if we'll just keep going. Because we've been reading the illustrated versions and we've absolutely loved them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and flip that light back on. They're so insistent that it has to stay off when the video lights are on. Yeah, Nessa says she has the illustrated ones too. Yeah, so we've got the 3 illustrated ones that are out. Although I'm like sitting here going like, how big is the 4th illustrated one going to be? Because the 4th book is so much bigger. Okay, so you see how it's got the flashing arrows? You're going to go ahead and push those. It's going to roll your mat out. And then we are done with this for now. So I'm going to push it back so we have a little bit more room to work here. And then I'm going to scoot you guys so you guys can see. So one of my favorite tricks is, in order to keep your material from curling, the best way is to remove your mat from the material, not your material from the mat. So you see how I'm bending the mat? And now you see how this lays flat? That helps, it really helps it lay flat. So let me grab that. I'm going to put this, go ahead and put this over here for a minute. And grab a pair of scissors. So then I like to trim down my material. So you can kind of, if you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see where it has cut. This is typically when I really like to use my Cricut Bright Pad, which is like a big, huge light desk. But I let someone borrow it. So now I have cut out the part that is just what we have cut. So now this is all extra that we can use for another project. So I'm going to pull that out. And now we're going to do what is called weeding. And that is pulling off the excess material that you are not going to use. So I'm going to move you guys back a little bit so I can get in there. So yeah, I haven't decided. My oldest is 9. She'll be 10 this year, which is nuts. I can't believe she'll be 10 this year. And I haven't decided if we're going to keep reading after we finish the 3rd. It takes us, I think, about 6 months to finish one. Because we read about half a chapter a night. Sometimes if they're being really good, I'll read them a full chapter. And when we finished Chamber of Secrets, they like couldn't handle it. We were like 1 chapter away from done, and they were like, you have to read 2 chapters tonight, Mom. We can't handle it. So what I'm doing right now is, I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to get my fingernail between the plastic sheet and the heat transfer. So between the blue and the clear. You see how that? And now what you're going to do is you're just going to grab that corner and you're going to keep peeling. And it should weed this easy. If it doesn't weed this easy, either you have had it on the wrong setting or maybe your blade is dull. Which I have done before. But your blade does not go dull often. I've had this one in my machine for quite a long time. So you can see I'm just pulling, gently pulling. Make sure you guys can see that there we go. So just gently pulling. It's not going to pull out the centers of your letters because those are not attached to the main sheet, but I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So this is my favorite weeding tool. This is just a hook. You can really slide it in there and get things to help kind of come out. There you go. So don't pull too hard because it can rip if you go crazy and pull too hard and too fast. You can rip it. Okay, almost done with the main part. You can see that the words start to kind of appear as you weed out that excess. Okay, so now you look at it. All of the surrounding is weeded out. Now we just need to get those insides. So I love to use the hook for that. That's like one of my very favorite things to use this hook for. So now you're just going to go ahead, and I just use it and I just kind of pierce my insides. Every now and then I will be a little bit more careful. Sometimes if I've like cut out hearts and I'm like cutting out the inside of the heart and I want to use that for something, I will be a little bit more careful. But for the most part, with these little insides that I'm not going to use for anything else, I just kind of stab them and pull out. So just make sure you get all of the insides. So your E's, your A's, your D's, your B's, your R's, you know, and your O's, depending on some fonts are either going to have other things on the inside that need to be pulled out too. And with this particular font, I'm going to show you guys a little trick. E's being a stinker. Come back to it in a second. Okay, so there's the inside of my O and the D. See, like you can see on this inside of this S, normally in most fonts, you're not going to have to pull out the inside of an S, but this one's kind of more of a squiggly font. And it trapped that inside of the S a little bit. So basically, you just want to weed and pull out until, oh, these E's are kind of tricky. Until your finished thing looks like it does on the screen. So you kind of use the screen as your way to make sure that you have weeded everything that you need to weed. These E's are a little stubborn. Okay. So now you can see I've gotten all the insides. Oh, looks like there's a little tiny piece on this F that was connected. So you kind of want to check it against your screen. So now you can see that that looks like it's supposed to. So the next thing we need to do is we need to cut it apart because it cut our entire design as one, which is great. It helps saves us material, but they're going on different socks. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. I always trim my transfer sheet, the carrier sheet, which is the sticky clear sheet that this is on. It is a little sticky. You can see it's tacky. For a project like this, you probably don't necessarily need to trim it. But I always, especially if you're layering, you're going to want to trim. Okay. Go ahead and trim that down. Okay, now we've got our sock. Make sure you're going on the bottom of the sock with the cardboard in it. And you're going to go ahead and place this down on it. You can see that? So this is nice and down. It will stay on there, not permanently obviously, but that little bit of tacky is going to help it stay in place as you iron it down. So I'm going to take you guys over to my heat press now. Let me move this light out of the way. Light up our heat press a little bit more. So, whoop, if you are using, so this is my heat press. This is what I prefer to use. I know a lot of people don't have the space for something like this, which is just fine. You can use an iron. You're going to go ahead and heat your iron up to its hottest setting. And you are going to see, I'm going to put this right in there. And you're going to go ahead and you need 30 seconds of heat and pressure on all parts of the design. So for this one, whoop, it's billowing up a little bit. So for this, all I have to do is pull down and shut it, and it will hold it until it is ready. It is done. But for an iron, you're going to want 30 seconds of pressure. You got to push down on that iron. Okay. So let's come back over here so we can do this other sock, and I will peel this one off for you guys so you can see. Whew, toasty. Seriously, way toasty. Whew, it's hot. Like I can't feel it. It's too hot. Okay, so that's how, you see how easy that's peeling off? None of the letters are coming up. If you do it with an iron and some of your letters come up when you do it, we're going to go ahead and pull the cardboard out of this now. If you do it with an iron and some of the letters come up, that's fine. You just push the plastic immediately back down. Don't keep peeling. Push the plastic immediately back down and iron that spot again for 30 seconds. Okay, so we've got one sock that says, if you can read this, now we're going to do our other sock. So we're going to go ahead and push our cardboard into the sock. This gives us a nice flat surface to work on. You don't necessarily, I don't do this with shirts or anything, just if I'm working with socks, because socks are kind of tend to curve on the bottom and curve around the edges. So you need the cardboard to help keep it flat. So I'm going to go ahead and put actually, I was going to show you guys a little trick with this. So can you see the Save Dobby? You see the software keeps each of your letters the same distance apart, but since this Y it comes out so far, it's keeping it the same distance apart from the B to the edge of the Y, which is fine. I mean, you can totally leave it like that, but that's just not how I want it particularly. I would like my Y a little bit closer. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to trim my carrier sheet, the transfer sheet, again, down. I like to trim it down because if you accidentally iron anything to the transfer sheet, it's going to stick to the transfer sheet instead of the sock. So making it so that, you know, there's less of a chance of that is always good. So I'm going to go ahead and put Save Dobby right here. So it says Save Dob right now on my sheet, on my sock. Then I'm going to go ahead and trim my Y as close as I can to the Y. So trim off that sticky carrier sheet. Now I need to be able to trim this a little bit more. You got to get as close as you can to that B and as close as you can to that Y, because that's what's going to allow you to bring that Y a little bit closer. How you're going to bring that Y a little bit closer is you let the Y kind of fall under the, you see how it's closer now because I've let the Y come under the B? Okay, so we're going to trim a little bit more. Trim, trim, trim. Okay, now we are going to place that on there. Make sure none of the B or none of the Y, so you know how we were able to get that Y a little bit closer. Make sure none of those letters are on top of a carrier sheet instead of the sock, or that's how it will stick. So we're going to come back over here to our heat press. I'm going to come right here, press that down. So just like I said before, if you're using an iron, you're going to want your iron on your hottest setting, 30 seconds of pressure on the entire design, not in general. So sometimes it can take you 2 to 5 minutes to iron a design, depending on how big it is. This one kind of cracks me up that it sticks to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat press off because we are done with it. And we are going to come back over here to our workstation. Okay. So now we've got our sock and it's ready to peel. So go ahead and just grab the corner of that carrier sheet and peel. Like I said, if the letters come up at all, just plop that carrier sheet right back down and give it another burst of heat. So now we can go ahead and pull this off, pull this out, and I'll show you what these look like. Kind of a fun, easy, fast project. You know, we did that in a half hour, and I think it took us a half hour just because I was talking you through it. If I had just been doing it, it wouldn't have taken me that long at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my foot. And I'll put this one on my foot. Ooh, it's nice and toasty. Okay, Now I'm going to see if I can make it so you guys can see my toesies. Actually, I put them on backwards. It's not how you read. You read left to right, silly. Okay. No. Yes. Okay. Struggles. I know which way we read. Okay. So I've got them on my feet. So it says, if you can read this, save Dobby. It turned out cute, huh? I gotta see him in my... See if I can get them both up there at the same time. If you can read this, save Dobby. Cute, cute, cute. Thanks for joining me today for our easy project. I am live here on Housewife Eclectic every Friday at 1:30 Eastern, 11:30 Mountain, doing fun, easy projects like this. So, hi Tina. I'd love if you would go ahead and go up to the top of the description and give my page a like so that you will be able to see all of the fun projects in the future. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Have a good day.